Good morning, Internet. This is the old fat dad. Let me show you what I got for you today. Alright, on this table I have an international high velocity hollow point ammo test. These are a little fancier than what I usually use, so I'm kind of excited to see how they perform. First up, from the Germans, we have RWS high velocity hollow point. And this is a 40 grain bullet. It's going about 1,200 feet per second. Next up is Eley's high velocity hollow point. I believe this is a 38 grain bullet, but it's also going about 1,200 feet per second. And finally, the classic CCI Minimag. This is our hollow point as well, so it is a 36 grain bullet, and it's going about 1,200 feet per second. And, as always, we're going to be using the CZ455 with the Varmint Barrel and a Bushnell 4x12 scope on top. In our first test, shooting out to 50 yards and seeing how this ammo performs. Alright, here are the results of our test at 50 yards with the high velocity hollow point fancy ammo. First up, the Germans. Now, I don't usually deal in flyers, but I definitely had some sort of a weird muscle twitch or spasm and sent one of these guys flying way up there. So today, we're giving you a pass, Germans, and we're going to do our 4-shot group for you, and it looks like just about 1 inch, maybe a hair over an inch. Eley came in definitely the tightest, I'd say. That's easily under an inch. I don't know how much under an inch. Maybe not a whole lot, but pretty close to an inch. Definitely less than an inch. And then our CCI group, not a bad group, but I would say healthily over an inch, probably 1.25 inches on that group. Alrighty, here are our 3 targets for redneck ballistic testing, and we're going to check out what these high velocity hollow point rounds do against pop cam. Purely for entertainment, we're just going to see whether it pops a tiny hole through or blows this thing up. And then here is the real test, in my opinion, the small game simulator, our dog food. It's got a thick skin with a meaty interior, so we'll see how each of those hollow points lines up against this guy. And to get a permanent record of their capabilities, we're going to shoot this clay. It's about 3 inches thick, and probably try to take 2 shots on the clay and take a look at the impressions that the bullets leave behind. Alright, first up we will be shooting the RWS at the pop can. Alright, next up, RWS on dog food. And finally, RWS on the clay block. Okay, here's the channel for the RWS ammo, and you can see a nice opening all the way almost to the back of this clay. This is about 6 inches of clay. And I gotta maybe get a better wire for cutting this open, but it's pretty sizable in the front, and it tapers down pretty quickly. I pulled this bullet from the other side, and it came apart from the jacket, it looks like, which is interesting. But good expansion. Did its job for sure. And now Eley shooting pop can. And Eley shooting dog food. And finally, Eley shooting the clay block. Okay, this is the Eley, and looks like a good channel there. Opened up nicely. Didn't go all the way through. And then we got our mystery full metal jacket. I don't think there's any point in opening it up. I can see that it just went through and through, so inconsistent results. Finally, CCI Minimag shooting pop can first. And CCI Minimag shooting the dog food. Last shots, CCI Minimag on the clay block. Okay, this is CCI Minimag. Again, looks like some pretty good expansion. Nice little cone, biggest at the entry, tapers down at the end. And I'm just reaching here and pull out this bullet here. She up. Every single one of these had a separation of the kind of like a ring, and then the center of the bullet was a little deeper. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't know why. Here's the rest of that Minimag. But yeah, good expansion. Just came apart. Okay, let's take a look at the results of our redneck ballistic test. And first up, the RWS. That pop can blew up pretty nicely with that hollow point ammo. And the Eley, pretty similar to the RWS. Yeah, I don't see very much of a difference here. You got a nice little entry and exit on both of those. And finally, CCI. You know, it's hard to say. It looks like it's a little bit more tore up than the other two, but you know, no real definitive difference, I would say. All pretty much the same. And on to the dog food. First up, RWS. We've got pretty nice little entry and the little exit there. Eley, that's a mess, huh? Get out of there, dog food. Eley really looks like we had another situation where his full metal jacket just kind of popped a little hole. Gosh, it's really hard to see with all that crap on there, sorry. And a little exit as well. Not too impressive. And CCI actually was probably our best performer on the dog food. Really popped that can open on the front entry, and nice little exit. Just to compare, here is the RWS on the left, CCI on the right, and then on the outs, RWS and CCI. So, what did I learn from these tests? The Germans and the British both make ammo that seems to be more accurate than the CCI Minimags. We had healthily under an inch with the Eley, and the RWS was no slouch either. The CCI was definitely you know, larger than an inch at 50 yards. As far as effect on the redneck ballistic targets,
you know, I don't see a huge difference between the three of them. The Eley did have a couple situations where I suspect that it didn't expand at all, but the RWS and the CCI were neck and neck. So I don't see a whole lot of reason to spend the money on the foreign ammo. I think the CCI Minimag would do just fine for me. You might have a better rifle than me, or more skill at shooting than me, and so you might see a big improvement from those ammo. But for my money, I think I'm happy with the American stuff. So, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.